Hey everyone, welcome back. If you saw the last episode, you would have seen me dismantling the scrap engine to take the pistons out of it. I've done quite a bit of work to the car off camera since then. I'll just show you where I've been up to. So we've got the engine in the car stripped down. This is the side with the water pump and cylinders 3 and 4. 1 and 2 are already off, and I've given the block a lick of paint to make it look smarter. I've also been through some of the other bits and pieces. There's the plenum, one of the cylinder heads, crankshaft pulley, intake runner, water pump and so on, all cleaned up and painted. There's a load more parts and a load more parts and some more, and here are the pistons and cylinders. Now I'm going to reuse the cylinders out of the engine from before, but with the new pistons, and obviously going to put new rings on them. So the first thing to do is to hone the cylinders to get the shine off them, and then we can get the rings gapped and put in. Okay, before we put the rings in to set the gaps, what we need to do is just take the shine off the inside of these with this glaze breaker here, the 3-pronged thing that goes in and turns around. And what we're looking for is sort of a 45-degree scuffs, if you like, just to take the shine off, let the new rings bed in. So to do that, a bit of lubricant on this, a bit of lube in there, and then nice and gently in and out at a slow speed, only for a few seconds. And I've got the spring pressure on this turned right down, because I'm not trying to rebore it, I'm just trying to take the shine off. So WD-40 works fine for this. Oops. On there, on there, on there, some in there. There we go. Slowest speed, and then it's just a case of going in and out, matching the speed of the drill to the speed of the in and out motion. Like so. That's working, that's okay. Make sure these are clean. Yeah, do some more. No. Just clean cloth so we don't have any problems. Bit more lube. Another go. Okay, that's perfect. You can see in there, get the camera to focus on that. There we are. See, nicely honed. That's all good. Next stage is to gap the rings. Okay, we've got all the cylinders now all honed and ready to go. So the next job is to just gap the piston rings. So we'll start with this top ring, just say top on it there. Stick that in. Square it up. There we go. Now we're looking for a gap of 20 thou there, and that one is 20 thou, so that's all good. Middle ring, again it says top on it. Get in. Make sure it's nice and square. And again, 20 thou, so that's all good. Can just move the cylinder out of the way now, because the next thing to do is to take the piston and actually fit the rings to it. You want the joints of the rings to be 180 degrees apart, which is why I've put this cross on here, because there are actually 4 joints. There are the joints in the 2 compression rings, and there are 2 joints in the oil ring here. One obvious one there, and one where the spring joins together, and they need to be opposite as well. So first things first, put the spring on, close the gap there, and get that lined up with one of the marks. Mess my workspace up. So this ring doesn't have a top, so that doesn't matter which way around it goes, so we'll just put that in the spreader. There we are. Now the joint in the spring is there, so this joint needs to be over here. Oops, not quite got on properly. There we are. Right, next is the middle ring. Carefully note that this has got top written on it there, and the gap needs to be here, so I'll spin it around a little bit. Just snap it in there nicely. And now the other ring, again it says top on it, and the joint needs to be there. Now you know I've drawn an arrow on these. There is a little arrow etched into the top of the piston there, and that arrow points to the flywheel on all the pistons, but it's not that easy to see, so I've just made it a bit clearer with a pen mark there instead. Right, so that is now done. We'll need the compressor in a second, and cylinder, lube it all up. This oil does 2 things. It stops it flash rusting, because it's when it's been honed it's just bare metal. So that's that, and it'll also just help the piston slide in. So that's that done. Get rid of that in the bin. Bit of oil on the piston ring compressor as well. Again, just to help it slide in. Now we need to put the piston in from the top that way, which means the compressor needs to go on like so. Spread it a little bit. Be careful not to move the rings. I don't mind it. Okay. Now I need to leave enough of the piston sticking out the bottom there so that we can get it started there. Now these ears, check that out actually, these cylinders have got big lugs there, small ones there, the big lugs go in the middle. So this is cylinder number 1, so it goes that way with that pointed to the flywheel, like that way. So now it's all lined up, nice soft handle on a hammer. And there we are, it's in. Push it the rest of the way down. A bit further. So that we can get the pin in. And that's the rings and the pistons done and in the cylinders. Right, next job is to fit the circlip here for the gudgeon pin. So stick that in this little slot there. This one's dead easy. This is dead easy, famous last words. There we go. That's in. Make sure it'll turn around and isn't going to jump out of its groove. There we go. Now the one that I've done there is the one at the flywheel, because that goes on and then the pin needs to go through from that side because you can't access this side. So these barrels need a seal now in there. It's buried under my tidy workbench. I wonder if I can get anything done here. Well, that's that. That goes on and sits nicely in that groove. There we go. Sits in there. Now these cylinders also have a seal at the top in that groove, but the top one's green, bottom one's black. So there we are. That is now ready to receive the pin. So we'll just make life a bit easier for myself by putting some oil in there. So, bit of oil on the pin. And then that will just slide in like so. It's that easy, it just slides in. Down that way. It doesn't help that I can't grip hold of it. That's the problem. Well, let's give it a gentle tap. Lovely. Right, got the seal on, got the circlip in. Time to go and stick it in the car.